like that? You 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 like that?
What's going on? It's Coach Williams, and I am back for another breakdown. So today we are going to talk Julius Brents. And so he had an opportunity to go up against TCU. This is their first matchup, not the matchup in the Big 12 championship game. And so he got an opportunity to go against Quentin Johnston, one of the best receivers in this draft. And man, in the beginning, this was a really good matchup. It's a really roller coaster ride for him. But there are a lot of things that we can take from this matchup to get excited about him as a prospect. So let's just jump right into this thing. So 3-by-1 formation into the boundary here. And so on this play, it's an RPO, right? We can see the screen action up here and then the guard pull. So RPO here, they decide to give it. And Quentin Johnston is going down here on this crack block, and he does an excellent job of replacing, right? So this is crack, replace. When the receiver goes down to crack on your safety, you want to warn him, and then you want to replace. And he gets in here, and look at that. Tackle in the backfield, tackle for loss, 6'4", 200-pound corner. That is what we want to see. He is elite on the perimeter in the run game. So we can see it again from the tight angle here. Johnston comes in, and the second you see that contact is made, he ends up in the screen, gets nice and low. This is really good body position here and makes a great tackle. So next play, all right, we get this 3-by-1 formation here. And then they motion it down. So clearly his responsibility here is going to be to have the number one receiver, right? So he's going to line up over one, right? So they're not matching. This isn't some man match concept here. He's just lining up over number one. And so right off the bat here, impress coverage on this number one receiver. One way to, because this essentially turns into like a faux bunch set here, right? So it turns into a little bit of a faux bunch set. And one way to screw up the bunch is to just toss the point man. And he throws this guy out the club. This is awesome right here. This brings me back to Brandon Browner, right? Big physical corner, throws this guy out the club, and then he just drops into his zone. Ends up being a big completion for them, ends up being a touchdown. But man, that was just awesome. Awesome play by him. I love to see stuff like that on tape from your big physical corners, all right? So now we got him down here at the bottom of the screen. And so we'll get into this as a little bit of foreshadowing here. This is a good play for him, but the press technique needs a lot of work, lots of false steps, right? So he's false stepping, not holding his ground, not making sure that he gets his jam, at the line of scrimmage. He's backing up here. And one thing that you're going to have to learn about Julius Brents is don't try to block him with a slot receiver. It's just not going to happen. He gets off this block. Quentin Johnston gets the ball. He drops it, but either way, he would have been in there and gotten in on the tackle. So we'll see it from the tight, right? So again, a little RPO action here, right? So a little counter RPO, guard tackle counter, screen game. They get in here, drops a pass, but either way, even if he caught it, Brents would have made the tackle. All right, so this one, okay? So we get they're out here in 12 personnel, right? So one back, two tight ends. And so they're going to run this counter scheme here. And the guard is going to come out here, right? So he's acting as a faux defensive end or outside linebacker here. And so the guard is going to come out here and try to block him, and watch this. Bang, right? Look at the head of the guard get snapped back here. Look at this. Bang. Your corner is able to come up in the run game and totally stone a guard like this. That's just phenomenal. That is phenomenal. His level of physicality is off the charts here, okay? So we can see him here, right? He's lined up, sees that action. This is a really good job, too, of squeezing this down block, right? So if you watch this, you might go, oh, maybe this is a blitz or something like that. If it is a blitz, he's choking it off, doing a good job not running upfield, squeezing the down blocks, not allowing there to be any daylight, and just bang, stones the guard, man. Like, he looks like a linebacker out here. Bang. right? Knocks this guy off, and then I love this. Watch what he does at the end of the play. Goes up behind him and flexes on him. When you're a corner and you crush a guard like that, you have every right to showboat like this. I love it, man. I love this dude. He is so physical. Okay, so this actually is a really good press rep from him here. Okay, so here he's a lot more patient than we're going to see as the video starts to go on. As I said all the time, I did not fanboy. There's going to be some really bad stuff on here, but this is a good job of being patient at the line of scrimmage. And when he gets up the field, getting the hands on and riding them up the field, right? In that trail technique here, in his hip pocket. And if this pass, the pass ends up going over here. But if this pass ends up going in this direction, he's going to undercut that thing and pick it off. That is a really, really good job in coverage. So now we got him down here at the bottom of the screen. And so this is an okay rep, right? It's not bad, not perfect, but there is the false stepping, right? The false stepping, I don't like the false steps, right? We want to stay nice and patient. If you want to buzz your feet, that's fine, but you don't want to end up in this staggered position because it gets you off balance. So, and then as you can see here, right, if we could pause it right here, he's on his heels. When you false step like that, it starts to get you on your heels, not a good position to be in. But either way, he matches it, matches the route all over it. Really good change of direction here. Breaks down. Look, there's no separation all over the route and ends up being a completion to somebody else. So now we got him up here at the top of the screen, okay? And so this one, it might look like he's opening the gate here, okay? It might look like he's opening the gate, right? A little bit of a false step there, but this one is fine because I believe that this is a cone bracket. So he is bracketing him with the safety, and he's inviting him inside, right? So he's inviting him inside because then you see the safety's eyes snap there, and they're bracketing him up the field. Now, this is where some of the problems are going to start to come in, and we're going to start to see it over the course of the video. He had an elite three-cone. I don't know the history of the three-cone or whatever, but it's one of the best three cones ever. He ran like a 6'6" at 6'4", 200 pounds. That's incredible, right? So he definitely has the ability to change directions. We already saw it on here that he can do it well. But look at this, man. When Johnston breaks down, he gets left in the dust, right? This is way too much separation. And I think part of the reason why he has a little bit of trouble with this is the eye discipline. His eyes start to fade. Look at where his eyes are. They're not on the receiver's hip, so you're always going to be late when you're reacting in that situation. So I don't think like you would assume, because you're going to start to see it over the course of this video. You would assume, oh, he's 6'4", so he's probably got like 2 left feet, can't change direction. No, he's got elite change of direction. I just think he needs a coach to work with him, get his eye discipline right, get him playing with a lower base on a consistent basis, and make it more natural. So here we go. We got him up here in press. And so what do we talk about a lot on this channel? Can you go across the field with the receivers? Well, he ran 4.53 at the combine. Not a burner, not an elite speed guy. He's going to have a little bit of trouble going across the field with receivers. So this little drag, this little under here, he's supposed to carry it and go along with it. And he notices that it's going, and he does a good job here. I think this is smart to go over the linebackers, right? You don't want to try to go under because you'll notice he starts to turn upfield. Try to go under, you might bang into the linebacker or something like that. Go over the top of these guys. If you're on the goal line, you got to go underneath, right? You got to be a little bit more aggressive. But in the field, I like this. But then the ref gets here. If you're going to go over the linebacker, got to go over the ref too. Goes underneath the ref, ends up behind it. Gets really lucky that this safety comes out the roof and makes a great play on the ball. So now we got him up here at the top of the screen here. And so, again, pin and pull toss, run play. He's on the line of scrimmage like a defensive end linebacker type here. And so I'm telling you, teams, do not try to block this dude with a slot receiver. It's not going to work. All right, so they try to get this slot receiver out here to block him. And look at him drive him back, right? Drives him into the backfield, grabs him with one arm, the running back, gets in on the tackle. Look at the pursuit here. This is great pursuit from this defense. And the reason why they're able to get there is because Julius Brents is super physical on the perimeter. So now we got him here. This is a press rep here. And so let's look at his feet. What do we get? False steps, right? Can't be false stepping like this. Then he's trying to carry it. He's got enough speed, though, to stick with him. But where are the eyes? Again, where are the eyes? Gets made to look stupid here, right? So he's got to work on his eye discipline, right? Can't allow this much separation, even if the ball isn't going over here. We've seen it with the other guys. They don't care. If their responsibility is their man, they're going to cover their man. You're never going to see any clips of Joey Porter Jr. giving this much separation. You're never going to see any clips of Christian Gonzalez giving this much separation, right? Talked about Mekhi Blackmon, a sleeper. Did we ever see him give this much separation? No. Got to be consistent. It's got to be a mentality thing that I'm never going to be on film that far away from my responsibility. All right, so somebody's going to coach that into him at some point, hopefully. So now we got him on the line of scrimmage here. He's a flat player here. And so usually in these zone coverages, when you're a flat player, you are going to carry the wheel. So they have that slot receiver in the backfield. He wheels out of the backfield. And so, again, the eye discipline is an issue here. When you see that wheel, get into this half turn, move. All right, let me speed turn and get back around and cut this receiver off. He doesn't do that. Allows him to get a free release up the field, but length, we've talked about this last year with Sauce Gardner. Length is a skill, and he is long. And that allows him to get in here and make a play on this football. But if he played his technique right, and we'll be able to see it from this angle, if he played his technique a little bit better, and he gets into the body of this receiver, and he's boxing him out with his 6'4" frame, this is an interception, right? So we don't want PBUs, we don't want interceptions to turn into PBUs, right? Got to be more consistent on those types of things there, okay? So this one, press coverage here on Quentin Johnston. And so this one's not very good. Not a very good one here, okay? All right, false steps. Look at his feet. Look at his foot here. All right, so the same foot keeps moving. Tap, tap. Nah, we don't want that, right? So if you are going to move your feet like that, you'd rather buzz them, okay? You'd rather buzz them. Have those feet alive, but don't just step like that and stagger with one foot. That's not good. Then the other thing that we always talk about, two-hand jam. Two-hand jam is going to lock your hips out, and it's going to be really hard to run with slants, especially. It's one of the hardest routes to cover if you throw two hands out there like that. Ends up being a completion. First down also, so not good. All right, so this one, I think this was the last play of the game for him. He either got pulled after this play, or you can see he might get hurt. This one is not pretty, okay? So he's in press coverage here on Quentin Johnston. Again, look at the false steps, right? False stepping, not good. False step, two hands on the jam, right? Two cardinal sins that you don't want to do. And then trips, right? So all that stuff, all that, inconsistency and not having any, technique and chemistry to what you're doing on a consistent level, it's going to lead to stuff like this where you're tripping and falling like that. So not pretty, but I love, and because you see here, he like grabs at his leg. I don't know if this is like a hamstring thing or something like that. Grabs at his leg, but he never gives up on the play. I love this right here, okay? Never gives up on the play. Tries to tackle him, ends up being a touchdown, but that's the type of stuff, especially since he came out right after this. I think he got hurt on this play. That's what you want to see. You want to see a guy fight and never give up on a play. So, up and down performance against one of the best receivers in the draft. He's not a guy that I would say you're going to want to take a risk on, high in the first round, maybe late first round pick. Get into the second round. That's about the time that you're going to take him. Because you got to understand, a lot of these guys are utility guys. It's not, Darrelle Revis's and stuff like that, or Jalen Ramsey in his prime growing on trees that can cover any type of receiver. If there's a team, I know a lot of people on this channel are Patriots fans. If there's a team that needs a bigger, more physical corner because their corners are too small, this is the guy. I really like Julius Brents for the New England Patriots. I think he would be great for them to round out that group. They got a lot of small DBs that are elite in man coverage that can move around, but when they go up against those 6'4" receivers like T. Higgins, they don't have a guy that can cover him. This dude can cover him. So other teams in the league also, there's other teams that need a big corner. I think in that niche role of being a big outside corner, this dude will be really, really good if he gets into the right situation with the right coaching staff that knows how to develop cornerbacks. So, excited to break him down. We might do some more videos of Julius Brents. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. And as always, you know what it is. It's Coach Williams, Ball Hawks. We fly. I'm out. Peace.